Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Cassandra Terry, your manifesting miracle maker, and today is Focus Friday. We are about to put another work week behind us. We've got one more day. If you're anywhere near my time zone, the day is just beginning, and it's still an opportunity for us to focus and wrap up the week in the best way possible. So one of the things that I shared is the thumbnail, is the actual photo that's associated with today's broadcast, and it's focus. Follow one course until successful. Follow one course until successful. That's not mine. That's just an acrostic that I found. Good morning, Bridget. That was an acrostic I found when I was looking at the word focus. Follow one course until successful. When I think about those words, follow one course until successful, the first word that comes to mind is commitment. You are committed to it, you're going to stick to it, you're working through it one step at a time. You've plotted a course to a particular destination and you have committed to stay on the course until you arrive where it is that you intend to go. So that's what we're talking about today on Focus Friday. I looked up the word focus just a few minutes ago, and there's some good definitions. It's the center of interest or activity. I'm accustomed to saying the center of attention. It has your attention. Um, what else does it say? Something that you pay particular attention to. I really like that definition because that's something that we can use at any point in time to help us determine whether or not the activity that we're doing is what we should be doing at that point in time. So at any point in time, you can say, ask yourself, what am I paying particular attention to? What has my focus? And let that sit and actually really think about it and arrive at an answer. And then once you arrive at that answer, then you get to ask yourself, is this the best use of my time right now? Is this the thing that should have my attention? And if you're still not clear about that, go back to your goals. Go back to what it is you charted out for the day or for the year, whatever it is. When you can use your goal always to test the fruitfulness of whatever activity that you're involved in. We have so many distractions all the time. We have people who are looking for our attention or need our help with something. We have all kinds of input that's coming in from all our different devices, the activities that everybody around us are involved in. Most of us wear many hats. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a I'm a student. I'm always in training of some sort. I'm an employer, I'm an employee, I'm a manager. The list just goes on and on and on. And all of those hats are asking for your attention. That's why I suggest that you start every day with a list. Grab your I like to write it down. Typing is good, but there's something about pen and paper and actually writing something that connects it to you and really embeds it in your memory. So, my encouragement is to start every day with that list. That's your focus list. That is your set of goals for the day. And it doesn't need to be huge. It doesn't have to be very long, but two or three things that you want to make sure before the day is over that you accomplish. That's what you're focused on. Once you've got that in mind, now for the rest of the day, as your time and attention is going here, there, and all over the place, you get to stop. You can stop at any point in time and go, what am I paying particular interest to? What has my attention? And when you answer that question and you think back to what you wrote down, then you ask yourself, am I moving towards the goal that I set for myself today? That's how focus works. When you're really focused, have you ever watched have a favorite TV show or you're watching something and you're so focused that somebody's talking to you and you can kind of hear the background noise, but you're so focused on what you're watching that you don't really hear the words that they say? Drives my kids crazy. Mom, I'm talking to you. And I tell them, girls, I'm from a big family. There was lots of noise. I had to study. I had all kinds of stuff that I was doing, and I learned how to shut out the things around me and really key in on what it is I'm doing at that moment. I love to read, and so it can be hard to read with kids running around and all kinds of stuff. It's not hard for me because I can totally zone in. And so my issue is the other way. I have to make sure I don't get so focused that I miss some of the activities that are going around that might need my attention. But when you can't zone in like that, the best thing that you need to do is have your list. What is it that I'm trying to accomplish? And then test yourself throughout the day, because things are going to vie for your attention. People are going to want your time, and you have to be able to make a good, informed decision. And that's what we forget. We are making decisions all day long. That's what life is. It is just a series of decisions and consequences, decisions and consequences. And if we're not careful, we're just kind of going through the motion. We're allowing things to happen. We're reacting to what has happened, and we never put ourselves in the driver's seat. Now, for me, I'm not the ultimate driver, but I am right there listening to the driver and making sure that I'm on course with what he has asked me to do with my life. I believe in a higher power. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. So for me, we've got a constant kind of conversation going on that helps me determine whether or not I'm on course. But that's just the big picture. So once I know what my course is, what direction I'm supposed to be in, now it's up to me to make decisions that's going to keep me on that course and keep me moving in that direction. And our lives get a lot easier. Things get simpler. You can make better decisions when you've got a game plan, when you know where it is you're trying to go. Do I go left or do I go right? Well, where's the destination? Is the destination to your left? Is the destination to your right? Those decisions get a lot easier when you've determined where it is you are trying to go. So make your list today. It's still early for most of the folks that I see on right now. It's early. Grab a pen and grab a piece of paper and say, here's the 4 things that I want to make sure before I close this Friday that I get done. Now I'm focused. I've got some activities that I want to accomplish all day long. Will you do this? Can you do that? We can always say yes. We can say yes to everything. And I'm a person who I actually enjoy saying yes. I say yes more often than I say no. So my list became very important, because I was giving away all of my time, all of my attention, all of my resources without having any real clue as to where I should be spending those things. What is it that I'm supposed to be doing with my life? What is it that I'm trying to accomplish? What are the goals that I have for myself? Now, when I make those decisions, my resources are more valuable because I know what it is I'm intending to do with them. So when the little distractions come, when the requests come in, I have to weigh those against the big picture. That's my life. That are the goals that I need to accomplish within my life. And sometimes somebody may think they're asking you for something really small. So it should be an easy yes. It's an assumed yes on their part. But they may not know how many other people have put a similar request in. And you're sitting there with 10 requests, trying to figure out how you're going to divide up what you've got set aside. And really what you should be doing is pouring into the things that are going to propel you towards the destiny that is your life, because we all have a purpose. We are all here for a reason. There is not a single soul. I don't care if that soul only lasted for a few minutes and then it was gone. It had an effect. It had an effect on its parents. It may have had an effect on the medical staff. Every soul was born for a reason. We all have a purpose. And when we figure out what that purpose is, which you can only do by getting quiet and connecting and focusing on your higher power and what it's telling you that you're supposed to be doing. When you have that direction, when you know what your life is all about, other stuff starts to fall away. It starts to be less important, and it makes it so much easier for you to make good decisions and propel yourself towards that destiny. So I hope that everybody realizes just how important, how special your existence is. It may not look like what you want it to look like right now. It may not be the life that you dreamed for yourself right now. But if you're still among the living, if you're still breathing in and breathing out, if your brain is still functioning and you're processing, if you can still get up and go, you still have every opportunity to have that life that you feel like you're called to. But you've got to make some good decisions. And first, you've got to find your focus. Find your focus, know what it is that you're here to do, figure that out, and then everything else will align with or stand against that. You put your energy and your focus into the things that align with it. The things that stand against it, you let them go. Sometimes it's people. Sometimes it's habits. Sometimes it's things that have been a part of your life forever, and letting go of them just seems wrong. How do you measure that? Does it align with the purpose of your life? That's the question that we all should be asking ourselves. Why am I doing this? What's the focus? What's the purpose? Why am I putting my energy and my resources into this thing, into this person, into these activities? And if the answer is because I am trying to accomplish X, and this is one of the steps along the way, it doesn't matter how hard that thing is. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter what obstacles come up. If you know that it's one of the steps along the way to the life that you are destined to live, you'll push through it. You'll keep going. You will put one foot in front of the other because you see yourself progressing towards the goal, trying to hit the mark, even if it's way out on the horizon, even if it feels impossible sometimes. If you know what you know and you are committed that that's who you are and what you're supposed to do, you keep doing it. That's the life I'm living right now. I really believe with everything in me that I'm supposed to be having these conversations. And sometimes I can, lay in bed and go, okay, tomorrow is Thankful Thursday, or the next day is Wake Up Wednesday. What am I going to say? Sometimes I've got nothing. This morning, I really didn't have anything. I found the acrostic that I mentioned at the beginning, follow one course until successful. And so I made that the picture that's associated with today's broadcast, because that just really spoke to me. Stay on course. If you fall off, get back on course. Stay committed. Keep going. Keep moving forward. So that really spoke to me yesterday. And that was it. I just said to my husband a little while ago, man, it almost feels like I should cancel this morning's broadcast. I don't have anything too earth-shattering to say, but it never fails that when I hit go live and I see the message, you're live, stuff just starts to come out. If I haven't gotten it as a good, clear message, sometimes a couple of days ago, it just came to me exactly what it was I was supposed to say, what words I was supposed to use. And it was like a full, almost presentation that was given to me that I had to give to you. Those moments are exciting, and I feel so connected and know exactly what it is. But more often than not, I'm not 100% sure about what's going to come out. But I'm focused on the mission that is my life. I look at my life and go, your beginning didn't even come close to dictating today. So there are people right now whose beginnings and their present are difficult. They've had hard times. They've dealt with the real difficulties of life. And sometimes you're right in it. And all you need is a kind word. All you need is a little bit of inspiration. All you need is to know that someone else has come through what you're going through, and they're sitting in front of you right now with a smile on their face and talking about, I don't look like what I've been through. Because I truly don't. I truly don't. If I looked like what I've been through, I'd probably never put a camera in my face. I'd probably be really uncomfortable with the camera in my face. And it has nothing to do about looks in terms of beauty or anything like that. But me and my sisters, my family, we had very humble beginnings. We have dealt with some stuff. I've been married. I've been divorced. I've had to figure out how to blend a family so that my children still had a good life. I've dealt with a lot of different sexual immorality type things as a young person. Those things were like shackles that I drug with me into every relationship, into everything. They informed me of my value. They told me that I was no more than a piece of meat. They taught me that life for me meant saying yes and making people happy. And that was the only way that I was going to be loved. That was the only way I was going to receive love. And that was a part of the way I was supposed to show love. Those messages got mixed up for me very, very early in life. And because of that, I had some difficult situations. I had some difficulties that I didn't even know where they were coming from. And when real love showed up, I didn't recognize it. I didn't like it. It felt weird. I didn't trust it because I was sitting back going, what do you really want? What are you after? That was always playing in my head. What do you want from me? Because I didn't see myself valuable enough just as I was that somebody would want to just be in my presence, just enjoy my company. I really believed that there was something that everybody wanted. Either they enjoyed my company because I was funny, because I made them feel good about themselves, I built them up, I encouraged them. There were all these things that I believed. But if you were in my presence, if you were interacting with me on any type of a long-term basis, my assumption was that it was something that I was doing that you liked, and so you stuck around. Well, what does that mean? If I want you to keep sticking around, I've got to keep figuring out what you like and doing that. I put no value on you valuing me and the relationship. It was all about what I could do and how I could make you feel. And because I went through life like that, I wasted a lot of time and a lot of resources. And I tried and I poured into people who could care less. There were people who just wanted what they could get. And that's where my attention was. I was so busy trying to make them like me, trying to get them on the bandwagon, that the people who were really there and who'd loved me all along and who really wanted to see me win, they didn't get nearly as much attention. So where my attention should have been, where my focus should have been, it wasn't, because I'm trying to win over the naysayers. Just wasted time and energy, except I learned. And that's the key. When we have difficult situations, when we make decisions that we wish we hadn't have, when we go through a process and we say we failed, that's only true if you didn't learn from it. If you didn't learn from it, I value relationships now. I value love, but most of all, I value me. And because I value myself, what a relationship looks like and how much time and attention you get from me and how we interact, it comes from a place of loving me. So if you're mishandling me, if you're treating me in a way that I'm less than, instead of me trying harder to change your mind and to get you to be nice to me and to get you to like me, no, I'm going to step away from that relationship because there's no value in it. What I don't do anymore is get so angry and want to see that person hurt as well, because I look at people's actions and how they process things and how they respond to things, and it tells me nothing about the person that they're involved with, but it tells me everything about them. How you see the world is how you see the world. Your experiences, what you've gone through, how you've processed it, the lessons you've taken from it have created your glasses. And if you're walking around with a pair of glasses on that says, I'm worth nothing, and you're saying it subconsciously, it's playing in your head. If that's the tape that's playing, every time someone is interacting with you, that at the least little thing that they do that touches your nothing, you are over the edge with that person. You are giving them your thoughts because you're processing everything through your lens. That was a hard lesson for me to learn. Some of the people that I've loved the most and that I've tried to have good relationship with, I realized that I couldn't until they were whole, until they were healed. I had to do my healing. They had to do their healing. And then and only then could we be in a healthy relationship. And so I stepped back because I was making myself crazy. Why do you think of me like that? Why would you ever think I would do that. Why would you even put that on me? I don't work like that. That's not me. And I stopped. I stopped trying to convince people of who I am. I live my life and I live it to the best of my abilities. And how you process that is none of my business. It's not. All I'm responsible for is me and how I show up in the world. And if me showing up in the world, if you can see the value in that, I'm so happy. And we can form relationships and we can collaborate and we can do things together. But if me trying my best switches a negative switch in you see something else, there's nothing I can do to change that. And that's a hard lesson to learn. We waste a lot of time, a lot of energy trying to prove who we are to people. Your life speaks for itself, and people are reading your life every day. For some people, it's a love story. Hang on to those people. For some people, it's a mystery. They're curious. They want to get to know more about you, connect, get to know them, share some things with them, and see where the relationship goes. For some people, it's a comedy. They just want to sit back and make fun of you and anybody that they can because they don't feel good about themselves unless they're tearing somebody else down. For some people, it's a horror story. There is nothing that you're going to do to convince those people that you're anything other than how they see you. Kim said, yes, that's a waste of energy. It is. You write your story, you live your life, and how other people process it. Use that to evaluate how much time you need to spend with those people, not wasting your energy trying to convince them of one thing or the other. It is a total waste of time. And you'll wake up and have spent 50 plus years trying to convince people that you're a good person. And your life is already proving that to those who choose to see you. But some people can only see themselves in you. They can only see their struggles in you. They can only see what makes them frustrated in you. That's not your problem. That's not your fault. We're not going to go around triggering people on purpose. But if someone always misreads you, the problem is not you. The problem is not your story. The problem is their glasses. They're reading through glasses that only allow them to see the world in a certain way. And you pray for them. You hope that things get better, but you have to give that space and allow them to have their own process. Otherwise, you'll make yourself crazy. You will spin and spin and spin and be so frustrated but you won't be able to get it right because it's not about you. It is not about you, even though you may be the target of their frustration. It is really not about you. So, like I said, I have those days where I just have no idea where our conversation is going to go. None of this was planned other than looking up the word focus, and what comes up comes out. And I try my best to sincerely share with you guys what's on my heart that I think may be helpful to somebody. So if you find yourself struggling in a relationship trying to convince somebody of who you are, stop. Stop the struggle and just be you, the best version of you. And that's your measuring stick. Am I showing up in the world the best version of myself? And if the answer to that is yes, you are winning, and you are winning in the best way, because that's all you can do. And how people interpret that and what they do with it, that's on them. They've got to figure that out. So back to focus. Focus Friday. The week is wrapping up quickly. I am hoping that something that I said today resonated with someone. Let me take a look. I see quite a few comments. Let me see if you guys have any questions or comments. Go drop them right now, and I'll take a few minutes and respond to them. Latangela, I think this is your first time joining. I've never seen your name before. If you're still here, welcome. I'm so glad to see you. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Sierra. Sierra is my oldest daughter and one of the loves of my life. Kim says, that's I feel, and Oh, I see. Yeah. So Kim's my sister. So she and we are really enjoying this time in life. And we did the first 17, 18 years of my life, 17 years of her life under the same roof. And then I came to college, and we, have done life together, have had children, we're in our 50s now. So we've done 50 years of living together, and we have ebbed and flowed like only sisters can. But we are in such a interesting space right now where we are just giving and receiving and loving and growing our relationship. And I just could not be happier. And Kim's one of my biggest supporters. She is on every day, and she's texting and fussing if I'm not on. So thank you for joining, Kim. Oh, so this is Tangela. Hi, Tangela. So yeah, my sister Alicia invited you. She talks about you all the time, and she's always telling me that ever since I started blogging, she shared some comments and stuff from you, and I certainly appreciate that. And I'm so glad that you were able to join. For you guys, I am on Monday through Wednesday and Friday at 7 a.m. Central. And on Thursdays, because I have a meeting at work at 7 a.m., I show up at noon on Thursdays, noon Central. So if you catch this later, go ahead and hashtag replay and leave your comments, and I will definitely get back to them. So that's going to wrap it up for today for our Focus Friday. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I will be back on Monday. Monday is about mindset. Mindset Monday. We will see what the Lord gives me to talk about on Monday. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about whatever He tells me to talk about. So I will see you guys. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining. Hashtag replay if you catch this later. Bye, guys.